And for the latest, I quickly want to cut across to Israel. Joining me now on the broadcast is India Today's man on the ground, Rajesh Pawar. Also with me is Sharon Haskell, a young member of parliament in the Knesset, in the Parliament of Israel. But Rajesh, let me quickly come to you first. Israel had said that there's a command and control structure under the Al-Shifa hospital. What has the Israeli Defense Forces, what have they been able to find to strengthen their point?
Look, Gaurav, this is a very well-known fact. Even US has admitted to this fact that there was a command and control structure under Al-Shifa hospital, and everybody knows it's an open secret. There's a huge network of tunnels, underground tunnels, which exist in Gaza. And now the challenge before the IDF is how to tackle that underground network, because that's where actual casualties will happen. That is a place where actual fight will take place. And there's also a fear that a lot of these people will use this tunnel. Hamas terrorists will use these tunnels to infiltrate into South, which now has double the density of population it had before 7th October. Because the people who were evacuated from the north of Gaza have moved south. Now, how will Israel deal with this population? How will they move them back to north and conduct operations in the south? These are big challenges now being faced by IDF, and it seems they do not have any clear answers. Gaurav.
Okay, stay with me for a moment. Sharon Haskell, all through the past 40 days, we were given to believe that there were Hamas terrorists, including perhaps, either Ismail Haniyeh or others who would be there, Yahya Sinwar, who could be hiding in these tunnels. Ismail Haniyeh, of course, had fled to Qatar. Then came that information. Then they said Yahya Sinwar was hiding and controlling this war from this hospital, that hostages could be there. Was anything found, ma'am, or was nothing found?
So, first of all, this is a very well-known fact that Hamas is using Shifa Hospital as its headquarters. There are bunkers, there are ammunition. Just yesterday, we have published through the IDF footages for example, the MRI section. And in the MRI section, you can see the cupboard are full of ammunition, full of bags behind the MRI. You can see them, how they are hiding grenades, a bomb vest, and many more equipment to fight against Israel. So, I mean, it is a very well-known fact. Foreign press has entered today with the IDF also to the Shifa hospital. The Shifa hospital is a huge compound, and so it's going to take time until we unveil the entire structure that is underneath it. But it's very, very well known. I mean, these are facts. And so we were led with no other choice but to go in there in order to capture Hamas and push them out.
Okay, but any information about hostages, any evidence that hostages were kept here? Like the forces said, they were at the Al-Rantisi hospital before that. But anything about the hostages yet, ma'am?
So we can't unveil, and we can't talk too much about what is happening with it. I'm sure that within the next few days we'll have some more information about it. Whether the hostages were kept there before, Hamas very much known, especially because we gave a prior warning to know when to evacuate those areas as well. So a lot of the time it makes our job a lot more difficult in capturing Hamas. But the Israeli army doesn't want to harm any innocent civilians. And so our work is far harder than the usual, but we are committed for that. And we understand that Hamas might escape when we give up notice and we give a warning. But this is a chance we're willing to take, because we know and we understand that at the end of it, we will find every single one of them, and we will completely eliminate the entire infrastructures of Hamas.
While you do that, how would you respond to these allegations that this is a war on the defenseless? This is a war where, maybe pregnant women or little children and toddlers are the worst sufferers, as was said by some Palestinian authorities today, that this is a war on those who cannot defend themselves.
I mean, are you serious? This is a war that was open on defenseless people. Babies were murdered in their cribs. Mothers were raped in front of their entire family, including children who were raped. How defenseless were the Israelis when Hamas entered and attacked and butchered innocent civilians? That is a defenseless attack on innocent population. Babies who were shot in their bed. What did a baby ever did to the Palestinians? What did a baby ever did to Hamas? That they go and they shoot him at point blank, shooting grenades, shooting anti-tank missiles, RPGs. That was people who were defenseless, and we are now protecting our citizens. I mean,
Okay.
look on the leadership of Hamas. They have said that if they can, they will commit the same crimes against humanity again and again and again. So what are we meant to do? Are we meant to sit at home and just wait for them? Never. We will never be butchered like that again. When we say at Memorial Day, never again, that's what we mean.
Okay.
And I understand that sometimes the world like their Jews dead, but we refuse to die. We will continue to defend our families and our children. We didn't want this war.
Yes.
We have no beef with the Palestinians, with the Gazan citizens, and all the patients in the hospitals. But then they need to rise up and say, kick them out of the hospital. Say that they will not take that again. Hamas is using them
Okay.
as a human shield. It's literally carry those babies and those children around them and locate their missiles and their ammunition in
Okay.
schools, in hospitals, in scout agent facility.
Fair
So
enough.
what are we meant to do?
Absolutely. So Sharon Haskell, a young member of parliament in Israel, says, are we just meant to lie back and die or wait for Hamas to kill us? Well, I leave our viewers